Yo, what's up, man? Happy Sunday. What's that word? Darkside Afrocentrics back checking in, man. This gonna be my second video, man, dealing with Lovecraft country and the insidious agenda that it's pushing. You know what I'm saying? With the feminization of the black male, the homosexuality, and in this we're gonna deal with the swirling and the psychosis or the mental side of a lot of black women who are into this swirling. So we just gonna jump into it. Okay, we're dealing with Ruby, who is the sister of Letty, who is a full figure, dark skinned sister and everything. And she's depressed because she can't get a job at this mainstream department store. That right there is the first like they're really using. You see, you gotta understand the humor behind this shit. Now I'm pretty sure the black woman who wrote this ain't meaning to make this woman a humorous character, but the white people who really are the brains of this show, they're putting this together and they get putting ideas in her head, and they really control the artistic message of what's going on. They just using her black ass Misha Green as a face. So the first thing is they're showing how this full figure black woman is depressed. She's mad because she can't fit into mainstream white society. Now you can just look at this woman and tell that she's a blues musician. How the fuck could she with a blues musician, and we knowing how most musicians are, they don't want to work 9 to 5. They work 9 to 5 because they have to support their craft. So the fact that she's a musician who wants to work in this dating, high-end department store around these white folks, knowing that she just don't fit in our GP, is crazy as hell. You know, they're really using Ruby character as a running joke at this point. And so she sees the other black girl with depressors, though. She sees the other black girl who's a dainty, smaller figure, petite black girl. She has the job. And that pisses her off. And that sends her into like a downward spiral. She's at the club performing, drinking and shit. And that's, you know, poorly performing. And that's when your boy William walk in, who is actually Christina, you know, who's used some kind of magic potion she concocted to become William, or their body. And she had been doing it this whole time, since the show started. So she comes on to Letty at the little bar, talking to her and shit. You know, and I want y'all to peek game on this. Now, this is Jim Crow segregation. You know, in Chicago, you know, motherfuckers segregated. Black state on this side of town. And if you notice in episode 4 and 5, how whites were just able to go to black parts of towns and party and do things like that, that was very normal. But that's another subject, but I want y'all to peep game on that. So Rim is talking to Ruby, and, you know, Ruby is saying, nah, white boy, you ain't gonna get none of this. I know how you white boys do. I know what y'all here for. Y'all know how y'all just want to keep black women as kept women and just have your dirty fun with us and just use our bodies and shit like that. And William like, nah, you know, this ain't that. This is not that. You know, I really, you know, want to get to know you and all that type of shit. And fast forward, you know, Ruby looks at William and say, quit, you better stop looking at me like that, because it ain't happening, white boy. And then we fast forward, as you see at the bottom of the screen in the right hand corner, they kiss. I can't put the shit up here because it's copyrighted. And they have a full-on weird-ass sex scene on the stairs. Now, mind you, this shows you how sick a lot of these women are who want to swirl and who want to be in the swirl relationships and all that type of shit, and who really want white men, especially a lot of these pro-black women. And y'all got to peep game on this shit, because a lot of these pro-black women, they sit there and they'll tell a white man off. They'll cuss a white man out, call him all kind of names. But as soon as that white boy say some shit she want to hear, it ain't got to be no real fly shit. Just make her feel like that he's willing to accept her quote-unquote blackness. And she's ready to fuck. She's ready to go. As you seen, like, she just talked to this dude for 20, 30 minutes. and was already in his house, not getting fucked on the bed, getting fucked on the stairs. Didn't even make it to the bed. Barely made it to the stairs. And we can presume that white boy didn't even use a condom. We can already assume that the white boy didn't even use a condom. You feel me? And that show you how easy a lot of these chicks are. And I tell you brothers who are pro-black African-centered, you know, I'm pro-black and African-centered too, but I'm on some whole different shit than the mainstream pro-blacks or Afrocentrics. Because I know the truth behind a lot of these women. I seen them break down, bro. I've seen a black woman talk about white men, white people ain't shit, and white people deserve to die and all that type of bullshit. And then turn around, she fucking with a whole married white man putting dick in her ass. I mean, I seen that. I didn't see them having sex, but I've seen her with her white lover and shit. That's what I'm trying to say. Motherfuckers is sick, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it boils down, man. A lot of these women, they jump into these different ideologies because they really want to be with the white man. And because the white man ain't paying attention to them, ain't showing them no love, ain't showing them no attention, that's when they get on the race talk. That's when they become black first, and that's when they become Pan-African, ADOS, all this different shit. It's all a hissy fit for that white man not accepting them. And that's what this episode is showing. Like I say, they're using this Ruby's character as a run-on joke. Now, she just got done talking to this white man about how white men be abusing black women and just using them for sex. And this white boy mama some sweet nothings in your ear, bought you a drink, and you already giving him a snatch. That just show you how easy it is, man. And the thing about this show is supposed to be pro-black. It got strong black representation. We already seen the homosexuality they're pushing. Now we seeing the swirling. You did what I'm saying? So how pro-black is this show really is? It's a farce. And they're using this black woman who's letting herself being used. Like they always do. White liberals love using black women to push their Luciferian, satanic, and just weird-ass Eurocentric philosophies. And because most of us are matriarchal in our nature, we follow this shit and talk about how woke it is and how dope it is. And it's all poison. Part 2 coming up. Well, part 2 of this video coming up. Stay tuned. Yeah, part 2, man. So, what I just got done talking about, that was all at the end, throughout and at the end of episode 4. This right here is episode 5, where it's specifically dedicated to Ruby. So, the night after she had that fantastic, mind-blowing, sensual sex scene. Y'all know I'm being sarcastic, right? I don't find this shit fantastic, sensual, or none of that. That shit was whack as hell. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how a lot of these sisters get down, just to be real with you. But so she woke up the next morning, she in bed. And off in some silk sheets and shit. But off top, she knew something wasn't right. She knew something was very much so wrong. So she look in the mirror and she's a goddamn white woman. Actually, she's in the same body of the white woman from episode 2 or 3, I believe. I believe it's episode 2. The crazy ass white bitch with the dolls who was killed by Atticus and them. You did what I'm saying? So she wakes up as in the body of this white woman. And fast forward, she goes to the south side, calls a little ruckus, and all that. So she goes back to William and like, what you done to me and all this? And she like, this is, this magic potion can give you what you want and all this type of stuff. So fast forward, she's going to enjoy the white privilege. That shows you in the show, it shows you her enjoying her white privilege, which that's what a lot of these black women want. They want to be white. A lot of these dark-skinned black women with low self-esteem who are always crying about colorism and shit, they want to be white, they want to be with the white man, and they want to enjoy white privilege. That's the true source of a lot of this colorism. They want to sit here and gaslight black men and say, oh, y'all the reason why we into this colorism shit. Y'all the reason why we hate being dark skinned and all this shit. Y'all used to call it. No. A lot of this shit come from black women, other dark skinned black women picking on them and shit. And a lot of them comes from them just wanting to be with white men. That's where a lot of that shit comes from. Straight up. That's the true source of most of this outcry surrounding colorism. Other than this, a lot of it's just fake and manufactured as hell. But at any rate, so she gets into being white. She goes to apply to the department store that she wanted to always wanted to be a part of, and her white privilege, and she told some lies about her education and stuff like that. The guy automatically, and you can tell the guy's kind of flirting with her too. So the guy automatically gives her a manager position. So the first order of business she wants to try out, she wants to see why the petite black girl got the job and not her. So she go to the petite black girl who really just, as far as we know, she just got the job because she applied on as a whim. But knowing how it was at that time, the white, the girl's dating comely girl. So of course she would get the job before a sister like Ruby would get the job. So she go and she starts, really picking at the little girl. And that shows you how, and that I told you, man, they using Ruby as a fucking joke to really make fun of these black women. Y'all gotta understand the humor of these white liberals, man. The racist humor of white liberals. So they're showing you how these black women, they talk all this sisterhood shit. They talk all this black women united against black men, black feminism. They talk all this shit. But when they get the chance to, they fuck over another black woman. So she started kind of picking on this black woman and talking shit to her. You did, kind of being little, being an asshole toward her and shit. And also being white, she hangs around the white co-workers and stuff like that. And she realizes that maybe this white thing ain't all what it set out to be. And then other things happen in the episode. Y'all seen it where she was in the police chief's office, and she see the dude that he had strung up, the dude he had strung up in the closet and all that shit. She see all that shit. So fast forward, after another altercation with the young black lady, they go to a club on the south side. I told you how white folks doing the most racist of Jim Crow used to party in the black part of town and shit. The most, you know what I'm saying? And she see the white boy, the manager, trying to, force himself on the little sister. She run away from him, smack him, run away from him, and he calls her a nigga bitch. And that right there ignites a rage in Ruby. She see a white man being a white man, so that pisses her off. So, she confronts William again about that potion, and she, or Christina or whoever, and they tell her, this potion, this magic gives you the power to do whatever the fuck you want to and all that type of shit, right? So what she does, she goes back to the office with the white man. This is another slight at the black woman's psychology. So she asks this white woman, she bounds and gags this white man, then angrily assaults him with a stiletto heel. I'm telling you, man, these some sick motherfuckers, bro. These motherfuckers sick as hell. So she angrily assaults him, asks this white woman we see on the right, the body double, and as she angrily assaults him, the skin, the flesh starts shedding, and she goes back to the black Ruby, and she say, I want you to know that a nigga bitch did this to you. And that right there shows you another sick psychology of a lot of these black women. As we know, we got a lot of black women who are doing dominatrix with white men, who are whipping white men, sticking dildos up their ass, burning cigarettes on them, and all types of shit. And a lot of these sick ass whores really think that they're doing some kind of black liberation work. They really think that they're getting some kind of reparations. Like, we remember the sister, I don't mean to call her no sister. We remember the black chick who was on like some kind of, she was on Facebook I forgot. It's some kind of show that deals with people doing weird shit. They had on Facebook and they highlighted her. I'm gonna make a separate video about her as well, where she was beating and whipping white men while making them read the works of Audre Lorde and Alice Walker and all these radical black feminists and shit. And she made it to some point that was a part of her getting reparations. You see, a lot of these black women, they don't hold anything separate. These modern day liberal black women, nothing is sacred to them. And that's why I did this episode separate, because I wanted to cover this Ruby about the Emmett Till episode. But this episode right here has so much into it, and the Emmett Till episode has so much into it, that was only right if I did them separately. You know, but this shows you how sick a lot of these black women are, man. And shows you the sick shit that goes on in their mind. They think if they can stick a dildo or a stiletto heel of a white man's ass, they doing greatness on behalf of our murdered and lynched and racially abused and black and African ancestors and elders. Not at all. But this is what this show is promoting. This sick shit the show is promoting. And then at the end we see William body sheds off and we discover that Christina is actually William. So now we have an added lesbian dynamic to it. A lesbian SWIRL relationship. We had Montrose hitting the light-skinned gump in the ass. Now we got this weird shit. This sick shit. And this show is supposed to be pro-black, woke, and all that. Not the least. But yeah, I just want to go, because this right here, man, shows the psychosis of a lot of black women. How they want to be white, how they want to lust white, how they lust for white men, how they want the white privilege, but they talk all this pro-black shit on YouTube, on all these. You see, that's why they put Ava DuVernay out there. That's why they put Issa Rae out there. That's why they put Jonelle Monáe out there, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and this sister right here, Misha Green. Because they push that bullshit, man. They push that confusion. And they mix it in with pro-blackness, with wokeness, hell, to some degree, even African-centeredness. And it's all bullshit. And that's why black men, we got to get on this patriarchy and call it out. But then again, man, I'm Darkside Afrocentrist. I'm going to be back at y'all soon. 1.